Welcome back, everyone, and we're on a countdown for liberal heads to explode for another reason. Despite Hollywood hysterics, Georgia House passes pro-life heartbeat bill. The governor has reaffirmed his intent to sign it into law whether Alyssa Milano likes it or not. On Friday, the Georgia House followed the Georgia Senate's lead and passed the Living Infants Fairness and Equality Act. Life Act, I like it. Popularly referred to as the Heartbeat Bill, despite a major effort by Hollywood liberals to put a stop to it. Georgia's governor, Republican Brian Kemp, previously vowed to sign the legislation if it makes it to his desk. After the House vote assuring that it will, Kemp tweeted a statement. I wonder if Stacey Abrams is going to say that she should be the one vetoing this bill, not him signing it. Georgia values life, he wrote. We stand up for the innocent and speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. The legislature's bold action reaffirms our priorities and who we are as a state. I thank these lawmakers for their leadership and applaud their undeniable courage. The bill passed the Georgia House with a vote of 92 to 78, despite a massive effort by pro abortion Hollywood liberals to use their social, political, and financial cachet to stop it. At issue is that the bill essentially prohibits abortions from taking place after a fetal heartbeat is detected. In practice, this means that most abortions after the sixth week of pregnancy. Currently, Georgia law allows abortions. Among other changes, it amends the specific wording of the laws governing when abortion is permissible in the state. No abortion is authorized or shall be performed if the unborn child has been determined to have a human heartbeat, except in circumstances listed as exceptions in what will be the revised language of the governing law after the bill takes effect, according to the latest available version online. In a related story, pro-life movie Unplanned has been under attack on the day of its release and suffered a setback when Twitter banned their account. The star of that film, Ashley Bratcher, offered a response to Hollywood liberals like Alyssa Milano, attempting to influence Georgia's laws. The ACLU has vowed to take legal action if and when Kemp signs the bill into law. You know, the ACL lunatics, well, they can do anything they want. Georgia passed the law. There is no constitutional right to murder a child who you happen to be gestating simply because you couldn't be bothered to close your legs or take a pill or make sure that the guy was wearing a condom. That is what is so hard for me to understand. We find bacteria on Mars, and these liberal idiots just go insane. We found life on Mars. There's an egg in a nest that the bird is not sitting on, so it will not hatch. And well, that's a precious life. That's an endangered species. That's a life. We don't even know if it's been fertilized. But you have spermatozoa introduced to embryo to fertilize and create a human fetus that at 6 weeks has a heartbeat. Well, that's not a life. That's a clump of cells. You can't tell me that they don't care or that they don't know. They only care about power and being obeyed. They only know that they don't care what we think, that they don't see us as ignorant hicks down here in the South. I can guarantee one thing. Georgia may start telling these elitist liberals, I'm sorry, you can't come shoot your movie in our state. That location is booked for that week or those months. I would love for Brian Kemp to go on national television and say, guess what? Hollywood, Georgia is closed. You're not allowed to come here. If he does, every vacation I take, as many as possible at least, will be to Georgia. There's a lot of good fishing, a lot of great mountains and woods, mountains and woods where I can walk around with my camera, set up a tent, fish for my supper. Trust me, if I could, I'd live like that. It's very peaceful. Plus, I wouldn't have crap like this showing up daily, multiple times in my email inbox since I wouldn't be using email out there. But it's very simple. They need to have a doctor define what is life. Because if you have a heartbeat, that means that a brain is being supplied with blood and oxygen because of said beating heart. Use an ultrasound. Watch the very young child in the womb respond to external stimuli. then looked that judge in the face and said, I've just shown you that is a person, not a clump of cells. They have a right to live. They are not given a choice in what happens to their body. Find one of the abortionists who has repented and begged forgiveness from God for the murders they performed. Have them walk into that courtroom and gruesomely and graphically describe how they performed abortions, especially after a certain point where they literally rip arms and legs and torsos out of the womb. Pull up the statistics of women physically injured and harmed in other ways by having an abortion. Maybe if we took off the kid gloves and exposed abortion for the brutal murder that it is, and exposed it for the horribly monstrous procedure that it is, maybe some of these liberals would at least just shut up, because there's no way to defend against, well, yes, of course, I'm all for ripping a baby out of the mother piece by piece where bloody little arms come out. Make them listen to the testimony of a supposed doctor who says, well, no, of course they don't scream. I transect the throat first, so they can't. Literally an admission that the child is possibly able to scream while being aborted, but she transects the throat so they're not able to. Look to Virginia and New York, where now, if the mother is unsure if they want to abort or not, the baby will be delivered, left cold and starving in a room, crying, maybe not even the airway cleared, until the mother decides, okay, I do want one. How long until we see the first case where the mother says, it only took me 10 minutes to decide I wanted my baby, and they said they kept it comfortable, but it died because they didn't clear the airway, or they didn't make it warm, or they didn't realize it needs to eat fast. The world is going to hell in a handcart, and we're strapping rocket engines onto it as we go. This bill is so horribly unpopular in Hollywood for one simple reason: evil exists. We have people who have been raised to believe they are the elite of the world, and that they can do no wrong, and that they should rule the world. And when someone dares tell them no, they wig out. Look to last year, last May, when Alyssa Milano was supposedly in Dallas protesting. Look at the video where she's not protesting, she's ranting. Look to a video where someone approached to try to talk to her, and her armed guards, and you can see the guns they're carrying, prevent him from doing it. Look at her tweet where she lies to say Dana Loesch just walked up and threatened her, and then the instant reply from Dana saying, I'm sorry, hon, I'm about 20 miles south of you, across town. And of course, in all instances, either more lies were spread or they ignored the blatant proof that they were lying. She tried to hide to make the video go away, where that man was able to show her guards were well armed. And she tried to ignore Dana saying, no, I'm not there. I'm having lunch with my family a long way away from you. Personally, I wish Dana would have said, Alyssa, honey, I wouldn't get within 100 yards of you. I don't want to catch whatever you've got. We need to take off the kid gloves and quit this whole bless your heart stuff. They don't know what it really means. Start really just taking it to them, words and all. Tell them, I'm not going to get near you because I don't want to catch the stupid. Go Ron White on them. Go Bill Engvall. Here's your sign. And hand them an I'm stupid sign, or look at them. Well, you can't fix stupid, and walk away. Yeah, it's insulting to them, but the people who refuse to engage in debate deserve no pity and deserve no respect. When they start spreading lies, when they start intimidation, when they start threats, and they go for that instant attack, they deserve nothing but the same in kind. If you'll notice, and this is one that I doubt anyone noticed that may, unless they're a huge fan. What was the name of the Guardians of the Galaxy ship in the first movie? It was the Milano. Because Chris Pratt had a crush on her, if I remember correctly. But do you know what the new ship is in Guardians 2 and at the I'll stop there. It's the Benatar. Chris is, I don't know that he's ultra conservative, but he is a Christian. And Alyssa going on her tirades, ordering the state of Georgia and other states to not dare pass laws protecting the unborn, lest she organize Hollywood to boycott those states, and her rabid rantings on the joys of abortion, while she, of course, has a living child. I have to wonder if Chris Pratt decided, I don't want that ship named Milano in any way, so we'll name it after Pat Benatar. Yeah, there is a continuity issue that there's no way Quill would have known who Alyssa Milano was when he was abducted by Yondu in the first movie, but still, it's a nice, interesting little rabbit hole there. I honestly don't harbor any delusions that I'll ever meet Chris Pratt or this will get anywhere near him, but I would love to know why it's not Milano 2 or whatever version of that it is, but it's the Benatar. So, anyway, I've talked too long. Keep the comments classy, keep them civil. As always, we learn from debate, we don't learn from argument. I know there are certain people out there that, even if I offered them the option to debate, like Miss Milano, I would get nothing but hatred and vitriol hurled back at me in such amazingly intellectual sounding words that they would just claim victory and walk away. So, yeah, I mock them every now and then, but I'm hoping to shock them out of it. They're adults. Who knows? Maybe it'll work. Anyway, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you stay up to date with all the content coming out, as I do have several rabbit holes I'm not far from jumping into. Until the next time, have a wonderful day.